Hello, everyone. Friday, and so exciting moment when we assume, or majority of the market participants assume, we will go higher. We're in an impressive bull market, but let's see if it is true. Let's see if it's true. Today I will be running the stream, the show. We will cover mostly midterm trends. I will show a few metrics. One of them you see already on the screen. And it's interesting. Always to pay attention to midterm. Why? Short term, you can get easily disappointed very fast. Because regardless, short term, long term, midterm, we are making mistakes. We're humans. It's not possible to predict the future. Yada yada. It's normal. We try to work with uncertainties, and of course, if we, without the help of algorithm, we keep it emotionless, try to predict on the short-term frame, too often, we're burned out, we're exhausted. Okay. If we do it only on long-term trend, of course, there is a risk that we do one mistake and that's it. We'll miss the whole rally, but not on this. It's a kind of long-term, usually 2 years, too boring. So midterm. By midterm, I mean trying to see, okay, what might happen next week, month, 2 months, 3 months. It's a kind of sweet spot swing trade, if you call it, if you trade, or you try to evaluate and re-evaluate market situation in an attempt to see, okay, what's gonna happen in the next, let's say, week, few weeks, months. And it's a good exercise. And it's not exhausting in a sense, your emotional state, you can change your opinion. And as you don't need to change it like 2-3 times a day, it's okay. And yeah, that's why midterm. We can start looking into one possibility would be, I say what I think about the market. Or we can try to build up expectations and let everyone guess what would be my assumption. I think we'll start with the first one, just because regardless if I start showing the metrics and the way I interpret them, it will be obvious what I believe. And keep in mind, of course, as always, it's not financial advice. I might be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. Everyone. But the way I see the market now, it's let's say, midterm, we will have 2 moves, likely up and down, the sequence, or let's say the most impactful move, it's down, in my opinion. It's not clear if we are about to enter it yet. We'll discuss it. But taking into account long time of expectation of bull market or long time of stories nurturing, nourishing, making us believe bull market is unavoidable. This alone, without looking at any metrics, launching social, this alone, all media, if you read inside the crypto, halving ETFs, big players coming, and it's a major topic. Even Binance and CZ and all these claims and court cases from SEC or Department of Justice. Yeah, what is joke justice in this case? They don't seem to impact much. Prices moving little, but it's not a major narrative in the market. The major narrative in the markets are very positive, very bullish, and it makes me personally very suspicious. I prefer much more to grow in a market where there is reason to worry or disbelief or concern. This is where market grows better. But this stage where you sense a kind of, okay, it's too much expectations, it's cannot, not sustainable as a sentiment, can stay for some time. That's why I don't exclude personally that we will now traverse or higher to 2,400. Either now directly, if we try today as a break, 2,100, or we go a bit lower, maybe as also lower. You look in Ethereum, I think on the screen, 1,750, and then to 2,400. Still, a kind of this goal in my head for 2,400 has been for a long time. I believe it's possible. I believe it's possible, but far beyond it, very questionable. All people who believe in 100,000 for Bitcoin, you can read 10,000 for Ethereum. I don't think this is the case. Now, what metrics can make me to change my mind, or let's say what metrics are important for this midterm decisions? One of them is on the screen. An important thing. There's a tendency always when we analyze the market or making decisions or confirm our decisions to bring too many metrics. I don't think it's a good way to generally deal with the market, to bring too many metrics, too many charting or making it too complex. It's understandable when the mind, my mind, your mind, our minds try to deal with this uncertainties and fear. And dealing with this uncertainties and fear, or the risk environment, or to remove the risk, it's give us some feeling of securities to bring a lot of data, a lot of charts. But it doesn't remove the fact market is still, doesn't matter. You can take 10 metrics, you still can be wrong. And it just make your analysis a bit more, too much complicated. So generally, I take into account no more than 5 metrics, sometimes even 1, 2, or 3 is enough. So this one, open interest. Yeah, it's an interesting metric. We added it to Sunbase recently. I mean, it's been around for some time, but we made it in production and clean it up and make it now aggregated across, if not all, but let's say majority of exchanges. And by default metric, which you get on a platform, it will be open interest in USD. And if you add the metric, it will be for the asset you're selecting. I made today a small formula, so I clean it up at total open interest in USD, that you add price and you divide it. So you have open interest in this case in Ethereum purely. Yeah, otherwise, of course, when price goes up, open interest in USD also goes up a kind of. Down. We want to see it clean in a sense. So we hide, and now it's open interest in purely in Ethereum on the centralized exchanges. So there are a few things here interesting on the chart, and as a matter of fact, I only recently started paying attention to it because, as I said, it was in a test. Now it's in production, and those who know me and heard me or had a chance to chat. You know, I have basically I have only 2 setups for midterm, for long term a bit more. For midterm, wall of worry, it's a sweet spot to entry, and exhaustion divergences for exit. Now, I think this open interest can probably reveal both, but directly on the chart we can see here kind of wall of worry of lack of interest. And the wall of worry, it's a specific condition of the market participants when the price experienced 1 or 2 crashes or declines, and majority decide, okay, now we need to wait. People burned, or the negative narrative is so strong, they say, okay, maybe it has merits. We need to wait for a moment. Yeah. So, and then when the price declines, there are other metrics too, which show similar pictures. And then you see here in this case, declining interest of speculators. Yeah. Those who tried to long before, short before it burns, they say, okay, now I don't know what's going on. They accept it for the moment. Those who did not burn, but the narrative was strong, say, okay, I better wait. I will always have a chance to buy, which is partially true too. You can always enter the market. And this is how it shows. Yeah, this is how it shows. Price is going up, but interest of speculators is not. It's declining. And just compared to what was here in this area of the chart, the price was increasing. Oh, interest was big. Yeah, people believe maybe this is a bull market. And then price was crashing. Interest was increasing a lot into the declining market. Okay, now it's really will go down. So it's different behavior. Yeah, it's a different behavior when the market is increasing, but interest not there. Yeah. And see, it changed later too. At some point of time, they suddenly say, okay, now I know, yeah, we need to start speculating again, both long, short side, and they do it. So this is the sweet, I see one of the metrics. There is another one, I will see if we go there, for this entrance to the market, wall of worry. This can help to identify in the future if indeed we go either now 1,700 or a little bit higher, lower. We'll see if it appears again. The same metric, open interest for on derivative market for can it be used for spots in the top? Maybe, yeah, maybe. I was looking today, and it seems to me that this strong like pulse, like explosion, like increase in interest, that might be an indicator. Yeah. Because normally you see it's a kind of growing gradually, a little bit up, a little bit down, little, and then at some point of time it just catapult. Yeah, like this catapult. Yeah. If we now, for instance, go to 2000, I don't know, like 200, and you see this catapult, maybe it's a sign that's it. We're going to the top. So, introduction to the metrics. Please welcome it to your tool set and take it chart layouts. I can share its chart layout after the stream is over. I use it, as you can see. Ethereum behavior stuff. I think it's a very old one, already, a few years. I just add more and more stuff, and there are more metrics on it. But let's stick to the plan. We'll see if we suddenly have more time. There's one more interesting. But the next part I wanted to show, it's a kind of related. But we look, this open interest, it's like taken from exchanges. And there is what we call whales and dolphin behavior. What do we mean by that? We take, now it will be on-chain metric. We take all the wallets who are holding between 10 and 100,000. In USDC and USDT. And another place we have it combined, it's not yet on Sandbase, but separately it also shows the picture. And we call mix of dolphins, or not whales, sorry, dolphins and sharks. Why specifically this group of people? I do believe those who manage or have 10 to 100,000 in stable coins, the active participants, most of them, and they try to increase, they're involved into the market activities, most of them quite actively. Why? Because not as much as like millions. We have 5 million. Yeah, you would not take a very high level of risk. Well, maybe some will, but there is no big need unless you're a hedge fund or it's your professional activity. Having a portfolio of 5 million, your behavior is different. Your decisions-making process is different, not so active, not so frequent, and not so risky. Now, when you have 10 to 100,000, obviously you're not rich enough to retire, so you try to get to this goal, to get to 1 million, 7 millions. So they represent the snapshot of active participants, and they, of course, because it's a specific group of people, a specific intention, they show the patterns. And the patterns is the same. There is the same but different. When you accumulate stable coins, it means you think, okay, now slow down. Whatever I can get from stables nowadays, around 5%, it's already good enough. I don't need to take more risk, even 4% if it was enough. just sometimes ago, 3, 4, 5%. I don't want to be exposed to the risk holding of more risky assets, or even like Ethereum, not the most risky one, because why? There's a question, why you make this decision? Because I think it will eventually will go down, or there is a chance it will go down. I'm not convinced it will go much higher. So you will see accumulation or balances of stablecoin hodlers in this particular area to grow. As long as it's growing, or more or less neutral, it's from contrarian point of view. So if someone accumulates in stables, means two things: they don't believe it's a bull market. Good, maybe it is at least a good correction. And second, they will deploy at some point. There is a powder, and it will be deployed. And the moment they will deploy, market can go a bit higher. So you want to see things like this. Especially, I think it's USDT. There is this flip. There was fly from USDC to USDT, but regardless, if you combine, there's been an increase of balances. And we might be experiencing now the change. The moment they start decreasing balances of stable coins on the growing market, it thinks it's FOMO. On the falling market, if we go back, you'll see many times buy the dip. They keep deploying unless they decide, okay, I don't want to buy the dip anymore, and this is where the bottom comes. Anyway, here, these two groups of 10 to 100,000 USDC, just pay attention. If we see what it seems to be emerging, it's not yet out of the norm. Before going up and down and up and down, but if we break and you see it just keep going down, it means especially this yellow line with USDT, that's a FOMO. It's a FOMO sign, and being for market, you need to count days till you exit. If it will be like big circle, you can count weeks. But I don't think we're in a big circle yet, so you will be counting days till you need to leave the market. So these two main metrics for today, which I want to share, as I do believe it's not used by many. Actually, it's used by very few participants in the market. So you will have alpha, you will have edge, and you will train your brain to think differently, understand what is the underlying dynamic and behavior pattern of quite a big set of market participants. And this is the main, in my opinion, way to succeed. You just need to be a step ahead, understand what majority are feeling, so that at some point of time when they feel the same, be it positive, negative, you can do something else and it will bring to success. Good. It might be I've been like talking a bit fast, but it's always possible to re-listen to stream again. And the good thing, it was only 15 minutes or 16 minutes, so it's not long time. And maybe to keep it also focused, I will just stop here. Maybe repeat, we'll come back to the price now once again to see the bigger picture. You see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. I do use Elliott wave notations, but it's just as a language of communication. They speak English, and here they speak numbers and letters. To apply Elliott waves, it means you have to adjust and change. It's a combination of Elliott waves and basic technical analysis, like support, resistance, and especially all this behavior nets we are talking about can make a very good choice. So it's open at the moment. I was expecting or willing to see once we get finish this waves that we go like 70, 50 and then continue to 1,400. At the moment, the market can do, and I have honestly no idea. It's 50-50. It can go right here, from here to 1,400. It can go first lower. Then we need to regulate the sentiment if it gets scared or concerned or more realistic, and then it can go higher. both direction open. So even for active traders, I wouldn't know what to take, just 50-50. And typically, if you want to take a directional bet, you want 2-to-1, beta 3-to-1, as you take risk, and you take also emotional risk. But the price range is like this. Yeah, I think it's. If I take a bit longer. Yeah, somewhere here, 2-4, 2-5, 2-6, possible. But if I get there, I will be really considering to evaluate my position and maybe get stable quite aggressively, as probably, at least as I see the way I see things now, then the next way the move is down just to retest the lows. It doesn't look very probable at the moment. Probably will look even less probable if we break higher, but this is what usually makes it feasible if not many people believe. But we need to evaluate. So it's showing just some bigger picture coming back to prices. Good. Before, there was one question today on our intercom for specific coin. Before I go there, I will just check, Max, Gary, what is in our stream chat. Okay, cool. So not many questions. Silence is golden. Good. Then there was a question for specific coin and merit circle. I don't know what this coin is doing, and it's actually good for doing behavior analysis. You don't necessarily need, it can help, but it's not mandatory to understand what exactly project is doing. It can help in the sense that you understand, okay, in which narrative vertical does it fit? Is it, I know, NFT, social fee, layer 2, or whatever you call it. So you can assume how strong should be traction on some metrics, but even without the usual patterns, they're visible. And when someone asked, I was very interested in decide, okay, let's take it indeed. It does show some classical patterns I like so much. And now you will see it being analyzed too. You remember we talked about top patterns, okay? And here I see plenty of top patterns, honestly. Divergence. If you would be part of our team or talk to me often, you will hear the word divergence very often. What does it mean? The price here, price, merit circle going up, but the metric, in this case, first on-chain metrics, start falling down. Yeah, there is some peak of metrics somewhere here. And then with every new substantial high, it just go lower and lower and lower. Yeah, you can see it here. It's active addresses, how many on daily basis, and it shows actually intraday. Every 8 hours here it shows. On-chain addresses are interacting with each other. Yeah, it's obviously you can see it like going down, down, down. The network grows, new blood, how many new addresses are joining speculation or use case of this specific coin. And you see that the trends of this divergence is actually accelerating. With the last spike, it actually went significantly down. So for me, in my experience, at 95% of cases, it means a top. There are some exceptions, but there's another one, very interesting metric, percentage of specific kind of on-chain interactions to the whole activity, namely what is percent of interactions related to deposit to exchanges. Why people deposit to exchange? Well, they think it's time to take profit. And as you can see, typically it's quite typical picture. Normally we would see some spike and then going down. There is some interest because a long time nothing happens, or some bear market, you exhausted emotionally. So you start taking profits, and there is some, usually around 20%. What do we see here? Yeah, 18, 20%, yeah. And then people get convinced there is new narrative, or maybe community spreads around, or project owners, sometimes they do believe in it too, that now it's on the way to go up. So people believe, and there is much, much less deposit to exchanges compared, or as taken a percentage of network activity. And when the majority of market participants for this coin convinced so much, you should never be too much convinced. The rest of the market, the rest of the, I will skip probably here. I was analyzing if we take, okay, this, the price, I think 80 cents. Is it around 80 cents? Yeah, now it's actually almost $1. So probably this group can ignore anyway. So you can see who is buying, who is selling, small players or big players. And on the top, small players will join massively. In this particular token, particular case, it's not as a clear example as we see it sometimes, where in the beginning, you can see wealthy wallets holding $100,000 equivalent or more accumulating, and quite often pushing the price higher. Small hodlers don't do much, sometimes even declining, and then they changed. The big hodlers start offloading, and the small hodlers accelerating. Here, it's not as clear still. You can see that those holding, yeah, here, 100,000 to a million, yeah, they've started to decline, dump their holdings somewhere around 10th of November, 10 days ago. No, 14 days ago. Yeah, this yellow line start declining. 1 billion to 10 billion kind of joined a bit later, but those holding less, they just keep accumulating. Yeah, just keep buying, yeah, especially the small wallets. Also not a good sign. If small fishes buy and big fishes offloading, it can continue for some time. And quite often it does, especially if Bitcoin, Ethereum now break to new higher. It will definitely, or most likely will go sometime. But big players will offload here and they convert to Bitcoin, Ethereum, at least quite some of them. So this is someone asked, I don't remember exactly the name, but I think it's someone who quite often communicate with us, and I decided just to share the way how I would normally analyze if I have this coin. And I ask a few questions in the mail, which helps greatly to make a even more precise call if there is any good, strong, positive narrative in the community of this project. Because outside of this project, I try to find not many talks. But there are too many projects nowadays. But even in the community, there is strong belief that we have some good news. So ideally, great news just came out 1 week ago. Then it's another sign of top. Great news are usually coming around the top. But this person didn't reply yet, so I cannot use this part of social data information. But at least on chain, I shared something which I would usually be using. Good. I don't see any further question. If I look correctly, Max, into our chat. Yeah. No, good. Then let's give a few moments for reflection and coming up to idea to ask anything. Otherwise, yeah, let's first give a few seconds. Friday evening in our time zone, or Friday morning if it's West Coast. Friday lunch if it's West Coast, East Coast, or late night or early morning if you're in Asian time. Any questions or anything people would like to be addressed on the stream? If no, then as always, upvote, likes, leave comments. ask questions as it's normal. Quite often I'm talking quite fast, and the material here is contradictory, or let's say inconvenient as we try to analyze irrationality. So might be the words, terms, or the way I build up sentences, they request further discussion. Open to it. And once we publish the stream, we'll share this to chat layer so you can use for yourself. I do believe open interest and holding of stable coins, it's a very valuable metric. It's in top 10. I don't use more than 15 metrics, but it's definitely top 10. Sometimes in top 5, depends on the market phase. Okay. Then I think wish a good, enjoyable Friday after Thanksgiving, or just Friday before weekend. And next we will see who joins. Is it probably Brian back? And I'm just listening, answering question on the stream. Or maybe I will say again something, if there is demand to request. Anything else, Max, you want to mention? Okay, cool. As always, remember, there is this code this week in crypto. This week, TWIC. You can use it whenever you decide to subscribe. Use the data. It will give, is it 25% discount? 30?
Oh, actually, this week you won't need it because on the main page of Sunbase we have a Black Friday discount.
Okay, then you will better.
It's higher than the regular.
Okay, discount. Good, cool. If you check the stream and decide, wow, so interesting metric, I want to check it. You check and say, indeed interesting for you, and you think can benefit your portfolio wealth management. You can always apply this week in crypto as a special code. Those who are willing to listen and learn something new. Good. Then good Friday and good weekend.